Hello family, how are you? Hope everyone is doing well. So, as you already know, today we will study Indian Contract Act 1872. And today we will see an important case of Indian Contract Act under the topic consideration. Consideration is often expressed in the Latin term quid pro quo, which means in return of something. Before looking at the definition of consideration, let us understand the meaning of the terms integrated in the definition. First, promisor. A person who makes a promise is known as the promisor. And second, the promisee. A person to whom a promise is made. Section 2, Clause D of Indian Contract Act 1872 defines consideration as when, at the desire of the promisor, the promisee or any other person has done or abstained from doing, or does or abstains from doing, or promises to do or to abstain from doing something. Such act or abstinence or promise is called a consideration for the promise. I know this definition is not so clear. So चलते हैं अपनी केस की तरफ to understand this definition as well as the essential of consideration.
Mother, what are you doing in kitchen? Please sit down, I will cook the food.
Okay, dear Rammaya, I was thinking that it is time now to give you this property. I am getting old.
Really, mother?
Yes, but I am also worried about my sister. She will also be alone after my death. I have an idea. What we can do is, I will give you this property and you will give her 653 rupees annually.
Yes, mother, good idea. Let's make the agreement today itself. Before she change her mind and give half of the property to aunt.
Did you say anything, daughter?
No, mother, nothing.
Then they made the agreement, according to which the property was gifted to the daughter with the condition that she will pay a sum of rupees 653 to her aunt annually. Later on, after the death of her mother, she stopped giving money to her aunt.
Hello, Rammaya. How your beta? I am all right, aunt. I know it's a tough time for you after your mother died. And it's a tough time for me too. So, beta, I just want to remind you that after your mother died, you haven't sent any money. And you will not receive any from now on. What are you saying, dear? Beta, you had an agreement according to which you are bound to give me money every year. What agreement? The agreement is between me and my mother and not with you. Moreover, there is no such contract as there is no consideration. My mother has gifted me this property, that's it. Beta, don't say like this. I am already going through a tough time. That's not my problem. You can leave now.
Hello auntie, what happened? You look so worried.
Yes, Mukesh son, my sister had made an agreement with her daughter that she will pay me annually an amount. But after her death, her daughter, Rammaya, refused to pay me further and I am facing lots of problem.
Is there any agreement in writing?
Yes, but it was made between Rammaya and my sister. And she told me that since there was no consideration, there is no valid contract.
Auntie, please show me the agreement and I will help you out. Auntie, you can sue Rammaya to recover your money because, according to this agreement, consideration to give the property was paying you money annually. You will definitely win this case.
Thank you, dear, for helping me out. Sir, There was a contract according to which I was supposed to receive a sum of rupees 653 annually, but then the defendant has stopped giving me the money, hence I request you to recover my money.
Sir, there was no consideration in the contract, thus, this is not a valid contract. And the agreement was not made with the plaintiff, thus, there is no such case.
Sir, the consideration for the defendant's mother to give the property to the defendant was defendant's promise to pay an annuity to the plaintiff. Hence, the plaintiff is entitled to sue the defendant to recover the same.
According to Section 2(d) of the Indian Contract Act, 1872, when, at the desire of the promisor, the promisee or any other person has done or abstained from doing, or does or abstains from doing, or promises to do or abstain from doing something, such act or abstinence or promise is called a consideration for the promise. From this definition, it is clear that in a valid contract the consideration need not flow from the promisee only. It could flow from any other person who is not a party to such contract. In this agreement between the defendant and plaintiff, the consideration has been furnished on behalf of the plaintiff, sister, by her own sister, respondent's mother. Although the plaintiff was stranger to the consideration, but since he was a party to the contract he could enforce the promise to the promisor, since under law, consideration may be given by the promisee or anyone on her behalf. Thus plaintiff will recover her money.
I hope now you understood the case law as well as the meaning of consideration. Even if you are still not clear about it, let me help you with some of its essentials. First, consideration at the desire of the promisor. The consideration should pass on to promisor as per his or her own wishes. Second, consideration from promisee or any other person. The consideration may pass on to the promisor from the promisee or any other third person. It is not necessary that the promisor himself or herself should be benefited by the consideration as furnished by the promisee. Third, consideration for an act, abstinence or promise on part of the promisee. Act तो we know कि अगर आपने कुछ करा, ठीक है. Abstinence मतलब होता है to refrain from doing something. Suppose, for example, A promises to B not to file a suit against him if he pays him rupees 500. Here, the abstinence of A is consideration for B's payment कि मैं नहीं फाइल करूँगा आपके against suit. So this is abstinence. Fourth, consideration can be past, present or future. अगर आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्जीक्यूट होने से पहले पे कर दिया, दैट इज पास्ट कंसिडरेशन. एट द टाइम ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करा, दैट इज प्रेजेंट कंसिडरेशन. एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्जीक्यूट होने के बाद पे करा, दैट इज फ्यूचर कंसिडरेशन. फिफ्थ, कंसिडरेशन नीड नॉट बी एडुकेट. दैट इज कंसिडरेशन अंडर द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नीड नॉट बी सफिशिएंट. In other words, the insufficient consideration, if agreed between the parties, is considered as good consideration in eyes of law. Sixth, consideration must be lawful. Unlawful considerations make the contract illegal. Last but not the least, consideration must be real. The consideration should be factual and not illusionary. Hope you like this video. Thank you for your support. See you soon. Till then, take care and be safe from coronavirus.